this is Dr. Joanna and
Adria
from Earth to Spirit, and we wanted to talk a little bit about our morning and why it is such a big subject that is coming up over all health-related dialogues. Is what's your morning routine? What are the things you're doing in the morning? And here we just wanted to talk a little bit about morning nourishment and what our routine is for that and why it matters.
Absolutely.
So one of our favorite things in the morning is to have celery juice. And we've been on and off of celery juice for myself for like the last couple years, for Adria.
Past year and a
Yeah.
half.
And we notice that it makes a big difference in the energy that we have throughout the day. It helps us go from a sleeping state into a nice, like, alert, ready to go state. It helps our cells feel nourished on a really deep level. And it helps balance all kinds of things in the body as well. I notice that my digestion is better when I start out with this, and then maybe have some broccoli sprouts or something throughout the day too, and maybe some probiotics. But just starting with this makes a big difference to my system and to how I feel.
Absolutely. And noticing that as well, you know, sometimes we get in and off the ship there, so to speak. And so stepping away from doing the celery juice every once in a while really has me hungry to come back to it when I step off the boat for a little bit. And I find that it certainly influences my clarity and my energy levels and my overall just capacity to be like open and sparkly, really. And so I love it. And I think that's just something important to mention too. Like, occasionally we do step away from a routine that's highly beneficial, and when we come back to it, we see it in like a brighter light.
Yeah, and we are patient with ourselves when we do step away from it, when we're taking a break for whatever reason. Maybe we're traveling, maybe we have something new going on in our lives. Maybe that's just what our body is indicating to us it's time for. We can allow ourselves grace to do that, and then as we bring it back into our life, we really embrace that and appreciate it and see it in a brighter way as well. Yeah. We've both had times where, you know, we'll tell each other what's happening in our lives, and we say, like, I feel so scattered, and one of the things we'll come up with is, well, are we doing the celery juice or are we not doing the celery juice?
Right.
And I find that there's a lot more clarity and purpose and direction, and the mind seems to work better, in my case, under the influence of this magical plant.
Yes, beautiful.
So celery is good for such a variety of things. Celery is really good for blood pressure in specific. They gave an extract of celery to some animal in an animal study and saw that blood pressure dropped 12 to 14% and cholesterol levels dropped by 7%. Now, we'll get into much bigger dialogues on cholesterol, but cholesterol is actually manufactured in the liver predominantly as an antioxidant to clean up oxidative stress in the blood system. And so when you artificially suppress cholesterol level using, for instance, statin drugs, it can be really dangerous to the body because that high cholesterol level is telling you that you have a lot of oxidative stress. Now, the true solution to that is to work with other antioxidants that are going to help manage that oxidative stress so that it's not just the burden of the cholesterol, but rather distributed over goji berries and celery and asparagus and the glutathione, zeaxanthin, all of the antioxidants that are present in these beautiful natural foods and herbs.
Yes.
Yeah. So this beautiful plant has a number of other things that it's really good for. I have talked a little bit about my journey to natural health, which included a severe spine injury, and this is really good for pain in the muscles, for pain in the spine, for fascia, for tension, for actually the experience of stress. There's been a study that showed reduction in stress hormone that is associated with tensing up the fascia. The way that it also improves the blood pressure is actually by by relaxing the connective tissue or the fascia that's around the arteries. And so it's really, really relaxing to the fascia and helps unlock our systems when we might be in a more tense state. It helps us manage stress and respond to stress in a way that is less damaging to the body. It gives us a higher stress tolerance, so we can take on more in our life without being run over by it, for instance. So this is a really, really special plant. It has been at the core of a lot of healing protocols, especially in the last few years, in the last maybe 5 to 10 years. And there are so many reasons that it is justified to bring this into your life. Now, traditionally, actually, celery was consumed as a medicine for blood pressure in China, in traditional Chinese medicine. So in traditional Chinese medicine, for hundreds of years, they've been working with celery, and the way they would do it is actually have about 4 to 6 stalks of celery each day for about a week, and then they would take 3 weeks off, and then again for a week, and then take 3 weeks off. Now, typically, when we work with celery juice in the West, in more modern protocols, people are doing it for 30 days at a time, or for 60 or for 90 days. But that's just a little bit of information so that maybe you can decide whether it's best to have the stalks with the full fiber going into smoothies, going into your salads, or onto your plate, or even cooked into your soups and stews, or whether it's best to throw them through the juicer. We love doing the juices in particular because juices are absorbed so readily into the cells. They're super hydrating, super nourishing in the cells. And when they're the first thing that you're taking in on an empty stomach, you're really getting the full benefit of the cell salts that are present, of the potassium that's present in here, of even the boron that's present. And maybe we'll talk about that a little bit more.
And the actual, like the salts that you were talking about, the actual like mineral salts that are within the celery, it's huge. We need that for balancing out the cells, for hydrating the body, because there's a certain pH balance, right, that the body must uphold in order to be able to flow through the day, to allow you to have that clarity, to allow the muscles to relax, and just instead of salting your water, you're receiving that salt through the actual plant, and it comes along with so many other minerals and vitamins. It's not just sodium.
Yeah.
It is the mineral compounds that hold the sodium in it.
There's actually about 3 times as much potassium in celery than sodium as well. So it's a really good source of potassium, and from the American diet, people are really, really lacking in potassium. A lot of people have restless leg syndrome, and that can be from magnesium deficiency. It can also be from potassium deficiency. And the balance of magnesium and potassium in the body is absolutely essential for relaxing the fascia, for relaxing the nervous system, for reducing inflammation from the nerves themselves. I actually saw that celery juice was at the center of the medical medium's protocol for TMJ, which is an issue where the jaw is really tense. And probably part of it is that it actually relaxes the fascia there. And then, according to him, from kind of what he's getting through spirit, TMJ is the result of shingles. And so the celery will actually relax the nerve, the trigeminal nerve, which is the location of the shingles for TMJ. That's according to him and according to what he's divined and been communicated through spirit, but nonetheless, there are multiple pathways by which this can be really supportive of those issues where you have, kind of teeth grinding, or you have locking in your jaw, or locking in another part of your body, or systematic tension here, in your shoulders, neck, back, which is what I experienced for years, or even lower in the spine as well. And then it's also really, really healing to the gut. And again, taking it on an empty stomach first thing in the morning is going to be the most medicinal way to get those benefits of the celery juice. So That might be enough talk.
Okay.
Yeah, should we make up some celery juice?
Let's juice.
All right, we're gonna just put a little bit of this in. It's one of my favorite reasons to work with it also is that it's so easy. I love doing juices in the morning because the cells just, the cells just absorb everything first thing in the morning. The juices don't contain the fiber, and so they're able to pass through that gut lining really rapidly and just flood the body with nutrients. And first thing in the morning, we're not always at our 100% level. So sometimes it's with a lot of other juices, you might be working with turmeric and ginger and cucumber and lemon and 6 different things, and it takes quite a bit of time to prepare and then to make the juice. Whereas celery juice, it's like tear it apart, stick it through, drink it.
Right.
It's fast, it's easy, and it's one of the most healing, if not the most healing, for many, many issues.
Sweet.
So we have a little bit of our celery juice here to start with.
Cheers.
We're probably going to make some more in just a moment. Cheers. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the taste can have a little bit of bitterness. It wasn't my favorite thing the first week that I tried it, but by about week 3, it grows on you. And again, when you do it for 30 days and then you take a break from it and you come back to it, it's like your cells have been just waiting for it and asking for it. And so now your tastes have changed just a little bit. It tastes like sweet. It tastes like hydrating and nourishing. And
yeah, you can taste the nourishment in it. It's a little sweet, definitely salty. It's just so balanced. And it's juice of life.
Yeah. So one other thing that I found out very recently is that, well, celery juice is really good for nitric oxide in the body, which is really associated with high stamina, high energy, high performance. And it was actually one of the first references to celery was in Homer's Odyssey. And the Greeks would actually would decorate their athletes with celery leaves. So the laurels would be celery leaves. The Olympic athletes were actually kind of celebrating that potency of celery for improving their stamina and their performance capabilities, and that association goes back for thousands and thousands of years.
It's fantastic.
Yes.
Beautiful plant.
Yeah.
So
So we're going to drink our celery juice and enjoy it. I hope you enjoy some at home as well.
all right.
Thank you.
Thank you.